Mr. Naresh Kantur, Managing Director, Infosys Private Limited. He is an electronics and telecommunication engineer. He has PG diploma in business management and has industry experience of many years. He started career with Appropriate Automation Promotion Laboratory, a Government of India R&D center for applied automation. Later, he worked with multinational companies in India and overseas in the field of industrial automation equipment and subsequently as automation specialist. Mr. Naresh will deliberate upon collaborative automation as 4.0, IT/OT confluence, system integration, and post-COVID cohorts. So, delegates, let's welcome Mr. Naresh.
I'm going to spend next 10 minutes or so explaining what exactly is the collaborative automation is about and what is the significance of collaborative automation more so in this present post-COVID circumstances. Okay, the collaborative automation is one of the pillar in Industry 4.0, as Anup explained in his opening discussion. That Industry 4.0 is a convergence of so many different technologies, and collaborative automation is one of the pillar of those technologies. So today I will limit my discussion to this particular technology of collaborative automation, that what exactly collaborative is, how does it function, what are the various applications in industry and outside industry where it can be used, so that you get a broad idea about this particular subject. When we say about collaborative, what does exactly collaborative means? The collaborative automation solutions will allow people and robots to work closely and productively work together. And when we say productively work together, let us try to take an example of two friends sitting next to each other, where none of them is afraid of each other. And if by chance, if any of the friend touches the other one, then immediately there is a reaction and both withdraw, and there is no chance of any accident or so. That is how the collaborative word has been defined. Or the collaborative robots, which are the form of collaborative automation backbone. The word cobot has been derived from CO, taken from collaborative, and BOTS, bot, taken from the robot. So the cobot words comes in, where a robot intended to physically interact with humans in a shared workplace. When we say shared workplace, that they can work together without any fear of each other. You would have seen this type of scenario since 1961, when the robots were being introduced all over the world for manufacturing automation, and robots being a huge cast iron heavy duty structures would generally be kept inside the huge cages. And those cages were important that because of the safety of the human being who are going to operate or program them, and all the robots have been kept in the cages. If you don't keep them in the cages, then they are likely to cause very severe accidents. And there have been reports of deaths, accidents resulting into deaths worldwide. Even in India, we had few cases where a robot has killed a few operators with a slight failure into the safety fencing which was put around. That's why globally, all the industrial robots are kept inside the cages to prevent any accident. Having said that, so that gives a huge gap between the aspects of human intelligence and what exactly can be used by the robots. The two pictures that you see gives a divide, where one end you have all the robots in a manufacturing setup which are put inside the cage, and the other side you have operators working independently without any automation devices into the assembly section. A study was carried out by MIT, and they found out that if robots and human beings, they work together, then there can be a recovery of up to 85% time of the muda, that is the time wasted in between, can be recovered. And 85% recovery of muda is a huge amount. So we find a way how robots and human beings can work together. This is an example where a collaborative robot is extensively used in a manufacturing setup, even for machine tending application. In this picture, you would see that an operator is standing next to a collaborative robot, which is doing the machine tending operation without any fear. Because these cobots are built with an inbuilt force sensing mechanism, which you can program from 50 to 200 Newton. In case anybody comes close to the machine, the robot will immediately stop. And then you restart, it will start from there onward. So it's a very safer equipment to use as a collaborative robot. Some examples of collaborative robots being used in the manufacturing setup, where they are used for machine tending applications. The picture on the right, you will see that the person sitting in between the two collaborative robots without any fear, and one on the left, a girl programming the robot just standing next to the collaborative robot without any safety fencing. There are several examples of collaborative robots used in the industry where the robot does what is their mundane routine job, and the human being does the job which is require more of intelligence. The picture on the left is a stitching operation for car seat manufacturer, where robot is holding the machine for stitching and operator stretches the fabric. Another one application is where the human being puts the bolt and the robot does the nut tightening applications. Similarly, various other applications where human intelligence and robots are to work together are where the applications these are deployed. They are the devices which are very low consuming on powers. Generally, all the cobots, they work on single phase, they're 230 volts, and generally would draw a power of up to 350 watt. I'm repeating 350 watt, compared to industrial robots, which generally work on 3-phase and would draw close to 3 kilowatt power. So these are the devices which are very heavy on power saving, very easy to program. And we generally say that if somebody who can use a smartphone or a tablet can easily do the programming of this type of robots, they can work in a very confined space because the base for mounting of these type of collaborative robots is very small. You can mount a collaborative robot on a space of 6 inches square pedestal, because the cobot itself has a maximum weight of 35 kilo. It's a lightweight devices and can work in a very confined space. Easy to mount with 4 bolts, can be mounted from the roof, from the wall, from the floor. And the best part is it can be mounted onto a trolley and can be taken from one machine to another machine like a tool, with a docking arrangement that you can run on a machine. And if that machine is idle and you have a job on the other machine, just move the cobot on a trolley to the other station and start using it by reprogramming or calling that particular program from the recipe management. There are a lot of applications of cobot into non-manufacturing sector as well. You would see the top left is a collaborative robot used in a surgical environment, where it is carrying a shadowless light to guide the surgeon. So depending upon the movement of the hands of the surgeon, the light gets automatically reflected by using an AI-based camera system, so that surgeon has totally unobstructed surgery being done. It also works smartly like a chef. You can program a lot of recipes and it will be able to do all the cooking for you. Again, on the right, working together with the operator, and we have seen few applications, can be used in the bakery where you can handle the food products. It can be used in the hospital for physiotherapy operations. Physiotherapy is moving your hand or a damaged leg up, down, right, left, right with a particular torque. And that can be programmed very easily. And the robot can be used so that one smart physiotherapist can handle multiple patients in the single hospital setup. Then it can be used in a bar. And this is a photograph from an actual bar in Holland, where you have all the liquor lined up in a vertical rack, and the robot takes the order from you, and you say, I need a couple of packs of brandy or whiskey, Patiala pack, and it goes and brings out that particular drinks and serves you without any human intervention. Similarly, it can be used for massage, for a therapeutical massage, and doctors and physiotherapists can very effectively use it. Even this has been used to make omelets in a hotel in Singapore. I have seen this working, and there is a more queue to see how a robot is cooking omelet, and you can have a option of various types of omelet that you would desire the robot to cook for you. Now, even collaborative robots are being used to fly a plane as a co-pilot. Who knows, maybe 3-4 years from now, you would get a voice from the cockpit coming in, this is your captain so-and-so, and my co-pilot is a collaborative robot of so-and-so make, and they would be flying plane with you. This picture is a real-life picture of a Boeing aircraft, which is being co-piloted by the collaborative robot. You will see the beauty that there is no fencing and pilot is very secure by working together with a collaborative robot. Collaborative robots are also very effectively used in multiple games or in the arenas where generally you would have one photographer handling one camera. In this particular case, all the cameras are connected remotely into a control room and they are controlled by joysticks. Cameras are mounted on the collaborative robot, and one photographer or one cameraman in the control room can control multiple robots together to take the complete view of an event. So intelligent use of a smart cameraman for handling multiple cameras. These are very unique applications. Now we talk about some safety of collaborative robots. Collaborative robots, since they stop in case it touches a human being with a certain force, generally a black and yellow fencing is good enough to be put on the floor and can be controlled by some sensors that if anybody enters into that fence, robot slows down to a smaller speed, and when somebody touches it, it stops. The safety standard generally we follow for various devices in the industrial automation. For industrial robot, we generally categorize ISO 102.18.1, which is a complete use of category 3 PLD type of safety, where complete fencing is required. Whereas collaborative robots are configured with ISO TS 15066 standard, which says the safety fencing is not required, although risk mitigation is required for the type of tool which is being handled by the cobot. But in general, globally, not many installations they use any safety fencing around the cobot. This is one example of collaborative robot being used where you have operators and collaborative robot working together. Particularly post-COVID, there has been a lot of challenges where social distancing in a manufacturing setup has become a challenge, because all the manufacturing lines have been designed in such a way that there is a minimum travel of the operator from one station to another. So they are very closely placed. And if you want to have a social distancing, then you got to remove at least one operator between the two to create a space of 6 feet or more. So those are the applications where one operator can be replaced by a collaborative robot in between, and they can work together in tandem. Another area where the collaborative robots are becoming popular is in the medical. For example, post-COVID, now almost every time you need to go in for RT-PCR test. And when we go for RT-PCR test, you require a lot of health workers who are being exposed to the virus, and the risk of they getting the virus is 3 times more than anybody normally does. So what happens is machines have been developed where a camera and AI-based system mounted onto the collaborative robots takes a sample from swab sample from your nose and throat directly by adjusting its movement very precisely to go inside the nose and take sample, or go inside the throat and take sample. And then it goes directly into a RNA amplification process and give you a CT figure and give you the exact report of RT-PCR positive or negative. And this application is becoming very popular in Europe, where they are keeping it at the airports. So where incoming passengers, when they have to be tested, can directly go to the machine and get the test done without any interference of any medical assistance. So applications are very enormous in using the robots, but in 10-12 minutes I could have just glimpse of the potential that it can do here, and then we can take it up subsequently in offline wherever required. Yeah, thank you.